Welcome to Natural English Practice, a place to practice your English by listening. I'm your host, Lara,
And I'm Alex.
and today we're going to talk about something that everyone loves, food.
Yes, we're going to have a conversation about cooking, our favorite foods, restaurants, recipes, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So just listen to how we talk about food naturally. Pay attention to the vocabulary we use and how we describe things.
This is a really common topic in everyday conversation, so these phrases will be super useful.
All right, let's get started.
So, Laura, I have a question for you. Are you a good cook?
Oh man, I'd say I'm okay. I'm not amazing, but I can make some decent meals. What about you?
I'm pretty into cooking, actually. I taught myself during the pandemic when I had all that extra time at home.
Oh, nice. What kind of meals do you like to make?
I really got into pasta, like making it from scratch. It's actually not as hard as people think.
Wait, you make your own pasta, like the actual noodles?
Yeah, you just need flour, eggs, and a little bit of salt. It takes some practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's really satisfying.
That's so impressive. I've never tried that. I usually just buy the dried pasta from the store.
Nothing wrong with that, but fresh pasta has such a different texture. It's really soft and silky.
You're making me want to try it. Is it a lot of work?
The first few times, yeah, it takes a while. But once you know what you're doing, it's like 30 minutes of hands-on time, and then you let it rest for a bit.
What do you usually make with it? Like what sauce?
My go-to is a simple tomato sauce. I just saute some garlic and olive oil, add crushed tomatoes, a little basil, salt, pepper. Super easy, but really flavorful.
That sounds delicious. I love a good tomato sauce. Do you use fresh tomatoes or canned?
Usually canned, to be honest. Fresh tomatoes are great in the summer when they're in season, but canned tomatoes are consistent and they're already peeled and everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do the same thing. So, what else do you like to cook?
I've been experimenting with different cuisines lately. I made Thai curry last week and that turned out pretty well.
Ooh, Thai food is so good. Was it spicy?
Yeah, pretty spicy. I used red curry paste, coconut milk, some vegetables, and chicken. The coconut milk helps balance out the heat though.
I love coconut milk and curry. It makes it so creamy. Did you follow a recipe or just wing it?
I followed a recipe the first time, but now I just improvise. Once you understand the basic technique, you can adjust it to your taste.
That's how I feel about stir fry. I make that pretty often because it's quick and you can throw in whatever vegetables you have.
Yes, stir fry is so versatile. What do you usually put in yours?
I like to do bell peppers, broccoli, snap peas, and either chicken or tofu. And then I make a simple sauce with soy sauce, garlic, and a little bit of honey.
Oh, honey in the sauce is a good idea. I bet that adds a nice sweetness.
Yeah, it balances the saltiness from the soy sauce. And I always add fresh ginger too. That's key.
Ginger is so good. Do you use fresh ginger or the powdered stuff?
Always fresh. It has so much more flavor. I just grate it or chop it really fine.
Same. Fresh ginger makes such a difference. So, do you cook every day or do you eat out a lot?
I try to cook most nights during the week, but on weekends I usually like to go out or order takeout. It's nice to take a break from cooking, you know?
Totally. I'm the same way. What's your favorite type of food to order?
I'm a huge sushi person. I could eat sushi every week and never get tired of it.
Oh, nice. Do you have a favorite sushi place?
Yeah, there's this little spot near my apartment that's amazing. They have the freshest fish and the prices are really reasonable.
That's awesome. I like sushi, but I don't eat it that often. I'm more of a pizza person.
Pizza is dangerous for me. If I order pizza, I'll eat way too much.
Same. I have no control when it comes to pizza. What kind of pizza do you like?
I'm pretty simple. I usually go for margarita or pepperoni. What about you?
I like trying different toppings. Last time I ordered one with mushrooms, caramelized onions, and goat cheese. It was so good.
Ooh, that does sound good. I need to branch out more with my pizza choices.
You should. There are so many good combinations out there. Oh, speaking of trying new things, have you ever tried cooking something and it completely failed?
Oh my gosh, yes. I tried to make a souffle once and it was a disaster.
What happened?
It just didn't rise at all. It was supposed to be all fluffy and light, but mine came out flat and dense. I was so disappointed.
Soufflés are tricky. I've never even attempted one because I've heard they're so finicky.
Yeah, apparently you have to be really precise with the temperature and the timing. I think I might have opened the oven door too early.
That'll do it. I've had plenty of cooking fails too. I once tried to make bread from scratch and it turned out like a rock.
Oh no, what went wrong?
I think I didn't let it rise long enough, or maybe I used the wrong kind of yeast. I'm not sure, but it was basically inedible.
It's so frustrating when you put all that time and effort into something and it doesn't work out.
Yeah, but you learn from it, right? Now I know more about what not to do.
True. So, do you bake at all or mostly just cook?
I do a little bit of baking. I make cookies sometimes and brownies, nothing too fancy.
I love baking cookies. There's something so comforting about it.
Right? And the smell when they're in the oven is the best.
What's your favorite kind of cookie to make?
Chocolate chip for sure. Classic and always delicious. What about you?
I like oatmeal raisin, but I know that's controversial. A lot of people hate raisins.
Yeah, oatmeal raisin cookies are divisive. I like them though, especially when they're soft and chewy.
Yes, that's the key. They can't be too hard or crunchy.
Agreed. So, changing topics a bit, do you have any foods that you absolutely cannot stand?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not a fan of olives. I've tried to like them so many times, but I just can't get into them.
Interesting. I love olives. They're so salty and briny.
See, I think that's exactly why I don't like them. They're too salty for me.
Fair enough. For me, I really don't like cilantro. It tastes like soap to me.
Oh, you must have that genetic thing. I've heard some people have a gene that makes cilantro taste like soap.
Yeah, exactly. It's called the OR6A2 gene or something like that. But yeah, whenever I eat something with cilantro, it's just awful.
That's so interesting. I love cilantro. I put it on everything.
See, and I just don't understand how people can enjoy it. But genetics, I guess.
Yeah, you can't help it. So, what about comfort food? What do you eat when you're feeling down or stressed?
Oh, definitely mac and cheese. The creamy, cheesy kind. It just makes everything better.
That's a good one. For me, it's soup, like a really good chicken noodle soup or tomato soup.
Soup is so comforting, especially when it's cold outside.
Exactly. I make a big pot of soup and it lasts me for days. It's perfect.
Do you make your own chicken stock or do you buy it?
I usually buy it. Making stock from scratch is too much work for me.
Yeah, it is time consuming. I've done it a few times, but usually I just buy it too.
It's one of those things where homemade is probably better, but store-bought is good enough, you know?
Exactly. There are some things worth the extra effort and some things where it's just not necessary.
Right. So, last question. If you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh man, that's tough. Can I say Italian?
Yeah, why Italian?
Because it's so varied. You've got pasta, pizza, risotto, all different kinds of sauces and ingredients. I don't think I'd ever get bored.
That's a smart choice. Italian food is really versatile.
What about you? What would you pick?
I think I'd have to go with Mexican food. Tacos, burritos, enchiladas, quesadillas, and there's so much variety in terms of flavors and spices.
Mexican food is so good. And you're right, there's a ton of variety.
Yeah, I could definitely eat it every day and be happy.
Same with Italian for me. Okay, I think we've talked about food long enough. I'm getting hungry now.
Me too. Let's wrap this up and go get something to eat.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so that was our conversation about food and cooking.
Yeah, we covered a lot of different topics there. Let's break down some of the key phrases and vocabulary we used.
Right. So at the beginning, I asked, "Are you a good cook?" That's a really simple and natural way to start a conversation about cooking.
Yeah, and I said, I'm pretty into cooking, which means I really enjoy it. You can use I'm into plus any hobby or interest to show that you like something.
Exactly. And then we talked about making things from scratch, which means starting with basic ingredients instead of using pre-made or packaged stuff.
Right, like when I mentioned making pasta from scratch. That means making the noodles yourself instead of buying them from the store.
And I said, once you get the hang of it, which means once you learn how to do something and become comfortable with it. That's a really common phrase.
Yeah, you can use that for learning any new skill. And then I mentioned that my sauce is really flavorful, which is a great adjective to describe food that has a lot of taste.
Right. Other words like that are savory for foods that are salty or meaty, and rich for foods that are heavy or creamy.
And when Lara asks if I follow a recipe or wing it, that's a phrasal verb that means to do something without a plan or instructions. You're just improvising.
Yeah, wing it is super casual and informal. You can use it in lots of situations, not just cooking.
And then we talked about how stir fry is versatile, which means it's flexible and adaptable. You can change it in different ways.
Right. And I mentioned that fresh ginger makes such a difference, which is a way of saying that it significantly improves something.
Yeah, you can use that phrase whenever one ingredient or element really changes the quality of something.
And when I said I could eat sushi every week and never get tired of it, that's expressing that you really love something and wouldn't get bored of it.
Right. The phrase get tired of means to become bored with something.
Exactly. And then Alex said, I have no self-control when it comes to pizza, which is a funny way of saying you can't stop yourself from eating too much of something.
Yeah, when it comes to is a phrase that means regarding or in terms of. You can use it in lots of contexts.
Right, like when it comes to sports, I prefer basketball. Or when it comes to music, I like jazz.
Good examples. And then we talked about cooking fails. I said my bread was basically inedible, which means it was so bad you couldn't eat it.
Yeah, inedible is the opposite of edible. And when we talked about soufflés being finicky, that means they're difficult and require very specific conditions to work properly.
Right. And I said you learn from it, which is a positive way to talk about mistakes or failures.
And then we use the phrase branch out, which means to try new things or expand your horizons. I said I need to branch out with my pizza choices.
Yeah, that's a good one. You can branch out with food, hobbies, friendships, whatever.
And when Alex asked if there are foods you cannot stand, that's a strong way of saying you really dislike something.
Right. It's stronger than just saying I don't like it. You really hate it.
And we talked about cilantro tasting like soap to Alex. When you use like in that way, you're making a comparison to describe how something tastes or smells.
Yeah, like you could say this tastes like cardboard or this smells like perfume.
Exactly. And then we talked about comfort food, which is food that makes you feel good emotionally. It's usually something nostalgic or familiar.
Right, like mac and cheese or soup or mashed potatoes. Things that remind you of home or childhood.
And at the end, I asked, if you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, which is a hypothetical question, it's a fun way to learn about someone's preferences.
Yeah, hypothetical questions like that are great for conversation. They help you understand what someone values or enjoys.
And we used words like varied and versatile to describe Italian and Mexican food. Those mean that there's a lot of variety and different options.
Right. So those are some of the key phrases and vocabulary from our conversation. Food is such a common topic, so these words will definitely come in handy.
Absolutely. And remember, when you're talking about food in English, it's okay to use descriptive words and be specific about flavors and textures.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say things like creamy, spicy, tangy, crispy, tender. Those kinds of words really help you express what you mean.
Exactly. The more descriptive you can be, the better.
All right, that's it for today's episode.
And thanks so much for listening to Natural English Practice. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe so you can keep practicing your English with us.
And if you have any topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, let us know.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.